Hello, everybody. I'm AJ Ganger, Indian Nation Station Manager for Piqua Channel 5. Today, I'm here with a couple special guests, the Valedictorian and Salutatorian for the 2020 Piqua High School school year. We've got Keenan Kelly and Alyssa Keeler. Guys, how you doing today?
Doing pretty well. How about
Right.
you?
Pretty good. So tell everybody a little bit about yourselves. One of you guys can go ahead and start, and then we can move through it. Just tell people about yourselves, who you guys are, how long have you been going to Piqua, and so on and so forth.
I'm Alyssa Keeler. I've been going to Piqua my whole life. At Piqua, I'm involved in National Honor Society. I was in Link Leaders. I'm in Spanish Club, and I'm in Interact Club. And I've also been a member of show choir for 4 years.
Nice. What about you, Keenan?
So I actually used to live in New Jersey until I was about 7 years old, and then I moved here for second grade, and I've been going to Piqua ever since. At school, I'm involved in Spanish Club, National Honor Society. I also do Model United Nations and Student Council, and then I also do some volunteer tutoring on the side.
So you guys are pretty involved at Piqua High School. Why are you guys so involved?
I think
I'm involved just because it's only 4 years, and it's a great way to meet people. It's a great way to get involved in the community and just be like more connected to other students and teachers. And a lot of these activities and clubs are just really fun to be in, and also like helps you grow as a person.
Yeah, for me, I think it was that at first it was just kind of trying to surround myself with like-minded people. So you start off in high school and there are, 250 people in our class. So it's kind of hard to find the people who you really kind of vibe with, I guess. So joining things like Model United Nations kind of put me around people who like debate. And then Spanish Club kind of got me more immersed in the culture of Spanish-speaking countries, which I was really into. And then National Honor Society and Student Council, which just kind of focused on the idea of being really committed to your academics, but also to service and kind of giving back to the community because you have certain privileges that maybe other people don't.
So what has it been like for you guys? I mean, we've never seen anything like this pandemic going on right now. And it's kind of weird that, we're doing all this learning and everything remotely. And right now we're doing this interview remotely. Normally you guys would be in my studio at the high school. But unfortunately we're not able to be there. So what's this kind of been like for you guys? How are you guys holding up with all of this?
I think school-wise, it's been going okay. I think a lot of the teachers have done a really good job at like transitioning from like an indoor, like in school classroom to online. The hardest part is just not seeing like my friends and not being able to like do school activities, like not being able to participate in the clubs I'm in has been really hard. I know a lot of like show choir events have been canceled and are up in the air still. And that's really been the hardest part for me.
Yeah, I think again, like kind of the hardest part for me is that so many of the things that are kind of they're so crucial when you have the idea of like the quintessential senior and high school experience, right? You have graduation, you have prom, you have senior picnic, you have class night, academic signing, all these events that you kind of work for, I mean, well, you have 7 semesters and then an extra quarter, right? The final quarter is kind of your time to just decompress. And having to switch to online classes has been really difficult because honestly, the teachers are handling it better than I am. It's kind of hard to stay on top of everything when you're not physically in a classroom having assignments given to you. It's a little bit hard to keep on top of everything. So it's just kind of been an adjustment period, but everyone else is in the same boat as I am. So I know that I'm not alone.
So what is that like going to class online? Give kind of the community a little rundown of, what's it like for you guys to wake up in the morning and not go to actual school, but you're sitting in front of a computer as opposed to going to a classroom setting?
Well, I know my sleep schedules got kind of thrown off for the first part, but I've been getting back to it just because my classes are starting to have Zoom meetings so we can talk, and those are early. But it's one thing I realized that I missed is driving. Like I don't drive to school anymore, and I actually like enjoy getting up and going to school. And I also like share like a room with my mom like to work in because she works from home now. So we kind of have to like figure out that and like when she has to be quiet, when I have to be quiet. But it was hard to keep track of at first, like everything that was due, but we've been doing it through Google Classroom, and it shows you how everything is due all at once. So it's gotten easier to like keep track and figure out how to, go from class to class.
Yeah, for me, it's like with great power comes great responsibility, kind of. It's like, well, I can do what I've been doing for the past couple weeks and wake up at 12:30 p.m. every single day and sleep in, but I can also get up a little bit earlier and attend a Zoom lecture that I maybe don't have to. It's kind of hard to will yourself out of bed when you don't necessarily have to.
Yeah.
So it's nice as long as you can stay on top of it. And I think I've been able to maintain a pretty good balance. But honestly, I never thought that I would say that I miss getting up early to go to class, but I kind of do now. So it's kind of funny how you take kind of that stuff for granted. So.
Hakeem, you mentioned a little bit about how the teachers are handling a little bit better maybe than what some of the students are. What is their energy and been like through this whole thing? Like what are they feeling during this time?
They've been very understanding. So like, I mean, everyone makes mistakes in the transition, and I've personally like kind of fallen behind on a couple of assignments, but they've all been very accommodating. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to them. They're very reliable during office hours, so you can always get help if you need it. They're making themselves very accessible, and they're understanding that it's not easy for everyone because they're going through it too. So it kind of feels like everyone's in it together. It's not like the teachers are against you trying to bomb your GPA last quarter. So that's been really nice.
Yeah, another thing is whenever they get information, they share it with us pretty much as soon as possible, especially with AP exams. My two AP teachers have been really good at just keeping us up to date and, keeping that in the back of our minds and trying to help us figure out how those are going to go down and what the rules are and preparing for those. So that's been great.
Now, do you guys have any favorite teachers that you've had over the past 4 years, or maybe even when you were in grade school or anything like that?
Yeah, I think that like what comes to mind, I have two teachers who've been very influential for me. First of all, Mrs. Allen has been amazing. I took AP Lang last year, AP English Language and Composition, and that class kind of revitalized my love for writing. There was kind of a period in time where whenever I was younger, I always really loved writing and I loved language arts. And then I went through a period where I kind of hated it. Like I just despised going to language arts class. And then AP Lang came around and I feel like I grew so much. Like I was sick of stagnating every year and I really grew a lot as a writer in that year to really help me. And then also Senor Potts has been very influential to me. Not just in an academic sense, but also in the sense he's kind of been a role model and a mentor for me. He's just a really great guy all around, and he's kind of taught, and I think Alyssa can speak to this as well since she's in Spanish 4 with me. He truly brings a worldly perspective to the classroom, which I really like because I think it's important to be scholarly in a worldly sense and learn about other cultures. So, yeah.
I would also have to say one of my favorite teachers is Mrs. Allen. She just is what a teacher is. Like, she's so great at her job. And then also, like, I had her in AP Lang last year, and she was just such a great teacher. And then having her this year in speech, we've actually, like, developed a stronger connection. And she's just so nice, and she's so good at, like, talking to her students, but teaching at the same time. And I don't know if I've ever had a better teacher than her.
What are some of your guys' favorite memories of the last 4 years in high school?
I know all of my great memories are mostly embedded in show choir. It's been one of the greatest experiences of my life. I think it's made high school for me. It's just been so great. My freshman year, it just helped me get connected with a lot of people, and it was just something that I looked forward to every week. It was my favorite class. It was my favorite after-school activity. I have so many great memories with all of my friends, and I've met so many great people through that. And music is one of my biggest passions, and I've been able to express it through that. And that's definitely been one of my favorite memories.
What about you,
for me, it's more of like the little things, to be honest. Like just like the things that you do in class every day that you kind of don't think about maybe earlier, but now that I've kind of been out of school for a while, they're really important. Like just kind of goofing off with friends in class, like Like actually, like some assignments you hate and you have to slog through because it just is what it is. But some assignments you get a group that you really like and then you work on it, and maybe you pull an all-nighter at someone's house, but you enjoy it and you have a good time doing it. And then when you're done with that project, you have a sense of satisfaction from having worked really hard, and you have a end product that you're really proud of. And I think it's those little moments in high school that really define you, because it's how you work in those moments that kind of builds your character by the end of the 4 years.
If there's something that you guys could say to future Piqua High School classes, what might it be?
Bring yourself out. Don't do it. I think that the most important thing is pushing yourself as far as you can possibly go, but still understanding your breaking point, your limits. There were a lot of times when it's very easy to get caught in perfectionism, and it's very easy to start using your GPA or your ACT score as a quantifier of your intelligence or your worth as an entire human being. And I think that the most important thing is that you shouldn't be shooting to be valedictorian. You shouldn't be shooting to be salutatorian. You shouldn't be shooting for a certain score in the ACT necessarily. You should just be shooting to, I know it sounds cliche, but be the best person that you can be, and understand that regardless of the outcome, as long as you tried your hardest, there's really nothing else you could have done to have gotten a different result. So yeah, that's kind of what I would do, because that's what I would give myself. It's the advice I would give myself.
Yeah, I agree with what Keenan said. My piece of advice would to just follow your passions as much as you can in high school, and be in clubs, not just, to have something good to put on your resume, but be in clubs that you're passionate about and that you think you'd enjoy. And it also helps you connect with people, that have the same interests as you. And making friends and finding people that you can share interests with makes high school a lot easier. It makes the day easier to get through. So just put yourself out there as much as possible.
Don't be a homework zombie.
Now, if we end up having a graduation here at the end of May, like it would normally be, you guys would obviously be out there at the stadium giving your own speeches. Is there anything you guys maybe want to give us a preview of your speech, if you've even thought about it or started writing, or just something maybe that you would think about including in it?
I haven't personally started writing any of my speech yet. I've had a couple ideas floating around in my head, but I know that as a 17-year-old who will be an 18-year-old, I don't necessarily have any great wisdom that I've gained in those short years to impart upon the audience they probably don't already know. But I think that I have a unique perspective on it, maybe, at least to a certain extent. So I know that whatever topic I choose, it'll be something that has been important to my development as a person over my years, whatever it ends up being.
I think in my speech, I just want to recognize and show my gratitude for the great 4 years I've had, and then also just talk about the future and just wish everyone luck, and kind of incorporate both aspects of looking back and then also looking forward.
Now, speaking of the future, you guys are getting ready to go off to college next fall. Hopefully, we all hope so. We all hope this is over by then.
Yeah.
So where are you guys going? What are your plans coming up?
I'll go first. I'm going to Bowling Green State University. I want to major in accounting, and I'm also going to be in their honors program. So that pushes critical thinking and just thinking deeper into a lot of things, and that's the main focus. And then there's also a special project you have to do. So it just pushes you to do more work and be more involved, and just kind of developing your mind rather than focusing on classes and learning, basic things. More thinking for yourself and stuff like that.
Okay.
So for me, I'm going to be attending Brown University in the fall. I'll be majoring in either English or sociology. I'm not exactly sure yet. I assume that I'll probably go down the path of academia, but I also have a lot of other ideas, maybe law school, maybe teaching. It's kind of all up in the air right now. So I have an idea, but I don't really want to restrict myself so early because, like I said, I'm only 17 now. It's kind of impossible to know exactly where you'll end up in so many years. So I just kind of want to take this time to just see what happens, because I haven't really done that at all. I mean, throughout my life, it's always kind of been this goal to this goal to this goal. So I just kind of want to chill for a little bit and figure out what I really want to do.
Now, if we end up going back to school after May, and we're able to go out of the house finally, what is one thing you guys will do the first second you walk into that school?
Thank my teachers.
I would probably, ooh, I've really thought about this. I think I'd just, talk to my friends. Like, I haven't been able to see hardly any of my friends or talk to them. So I think that'd be the first thing I do is just tell them I missed them and ask them how things are going.
So have you got, you're talking about your friends. Have you guys maybe even FaceTimed or texted with any of your guys' friends? I mean, how are you guys communicating during this time?
I've been video chatting mostly with my best friend, and then I've been texting a lot of my other friends. There's been a lot of like group chats and stuff for certain classes that kids have formed on their own. And also we get to talk to our friends through Zooms that teachers host.
So is there anything else you guys want to add or tell the community members at this time before we all get out of here?
For me, it's stay safe, stay healthy. I still go into work. I work at Hothead Burrito, and I still have to go in. And there are points in time during dinner where we have lines almost out the door. Okay, and then there are other people you might know who are immunocompromised. There might be people with asthma, there might be the elderly, and people who can't necessarily defend themselves from this virus the same way you can. So if you have the facilities to be able to stay inside your house comfortably, please do so for the sake of public health.
I agree with what Keenan said. Stay home, stay safe, stay healthy. Reach out to your friends through FaceTime and your family. Just stay connected with them, even if it's not in person. I mean, we have technology right at our fingertips, and it definitely makes all of this easier being stuck at home to at least talk through the internet or through technology. And also just, find something new to try or do at home. Just stay busy. It'll make this a lot easier to get through, and just stay positive.
Well, thank you guys again for taking time out of your days. I know it's hectic with all the stuff that you guys have going on to have this interview with me today. Also, I want to say congratulations to both of you for being named Valedictorian and Salutatorian for the class of 2020. I know it's hard, and I know everything is, you guys have a lot of events that were supposed to happen that now aren't happening. But again, we wish you guys the best of luck in the next chapter of your guys' lives as well.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, you guys have a great day, and maybe we'll have another conversation down the line. So again, thank you guys for watching. I've been AJ Ganger here with our valedictorian, Keenan Kelly, and our salutatorian, Alyssa Keeler, here on the Indian Nation Station.